I have been participating in a challenge this week called Transformation Week on Growth Day. And one of the frameworks that was taught by Brendan Burchard in this transformation week actually really it was really insightful to me. And he talked about 4 zones of like where we live as humans. All right, so you got the comfort zone. I feel like everyone knows about the comfort zone. And something that Brendan said about the comfort zone was really fascinating to me. He's like, the comfort zone isn't necessarily a bad thing. Everyone bashes on it because, like, yeah, you gotta get out of that comfort zone, man. And while that's true in many ways, the comfort zone is also where our natural talents reside. It's also where our strengths are. What are we really good at? What are we really comfortable just crushing? And it's okay to be in the comfort zone in those particular areas, right? As long as we're clear on what we are comfortable with, because it's also very comfortable to go and sit on the couch when we aren't clear, when we aren't driven, if you will. And so the comfort zone isn't a bad place to be. It's just a place where we are comfortable, and that's where our strengths and talents are. It's what we're comfortable doing. And so if our strengths and our talents and we're clear on those and we drive ourselves to make those happen in our comfort zone, the comfort zone isn't a bad place to be. It definitely isn't the best place to be, but it's not a bad place for us to exist in. Beyond the comfort zone, we have what Brendan called the demand zone, right? And Brendan said, like, over the past couple of years during COVID, it's like we were definitely in more of a comfort zone, right? People, up until this year, actually, it's like companies were just kind of going by. There were just things, life had kind of slowed down. COVID had kind of really shut things down. And so people were really in a zone of, cage or comfort, right? They're not really trying to grow. They're just trying to survive. And so we were in this comfort zone. And over the past 6 months, we've probably close to a year now, we've entered this demand zone. It is time for companies, for people to show up. Like, the demand is there. It exists. It's time to produce quality things. And we've seen this in the tech sector. So many layoffs. Thousands of people laid off because they weren't showing up, right? The demand wasn't there, and so they didn't show up. So we got to live in that, like, trying to bring demand into our life. I like to call it, necessity. It's necessary for us to be there. And this could be because we've promised our coworker we're going to show up. We're going to deliver that thing to them. Promised our boss, promised our wife. We got to pay the bills. The demand zone causes us to act in ways that we normally wouldn't. The third zone is esteem. And I love this zone. As Brendan was talking about, it's like how we esteem ourselves. Effectively, what we believe about ourselves dictates what we will do. Right? I think that's pretty obvious and clear once you said it. But in the esteem zone, we see ourselves as worthy for success, worthy for what comes our way, worthy to do that work, qualified even to do whatever that work may be, to have that impact. So how do you esteem yourself, striver? Do you believe you're worthy of impact? Do you believe you're worthy of striving greatly and achieving greatly? It's kind of a fine line because I feel like so many people are entitled, but that's not esteem. Many people who are likely entitled maybe don't esteem themselves very highly, don't see themselves as individuals of worth. They just demand from others that they be treated with respect when they themselves don't even esteem the people around them as worthy of their respect. So, food for thought. I'm going to have to think about that one a bit more. But the fourth zone is service. And this is the zone where, for me personally, you just come alive. If you're showing up to serve others, that's when humans really shine. From my personal opinion, I feel like people, when they are showing up for someone else, when they are there to serve another human being, to uplift, to help, to assist, whatever word you want to use, they are alive. Service hits all of the things that make us feel alive, right? I feel like we're growing. And so the three things that make us feel engaged and present and happy and joyous are, aliveness. We're feeling the day. When we're serving others, we're empathetic, we're sympathetic, whichever one, both maybe. And we're feeling our deep connection with someone else, which is another point on the three points in the triangle that represent like how present we feel with the day. What we want truly in life is to feel alive, to be deeply connected with those around us, and to, I think, is experience, have deep and meaningful, what is it? Dang it, I'm forgetting it. We want to grow. We want to grow, we want to feel alive and present in the day, and we want to feel deeply connected with those around us. And so service, the zone of service where we're out there and we're just helping and uplifting others, that's where all of those points in the triangle, and I can't remember the third one and I apologize, but that's where all those all the points on that triangle are just lit up. So find opportunities to serve, Striver. I'm here to serve you in any way that I possibly can. I like to say that I try to give freely of my knowledge, but not of my time. And I think I stick pretty well to that because healthy boundaries are 100% important. So, Striver. Comfort, zone of demand, zone of esteem, zone of service. Hit all four of those, and you can drive your life into being more present, engaged, happy, joyous, excited for all the things you got